This piece, you're going to see how to do it in a color blend. It was previously painted several coats of latex paint. There was a couple little spots that were chipping up, so I just literally sanded those spots only. I did not do any other prep work to this, and it adhered fine with a DIY clay paint. So don't be afraid to paint over latex paint. Hello, this film has been videoed years ago. The piece you're gonna see was almost my first color blend. So I was really new, and when I was watching it, I want to insert, I've learned a few things. So I would add that you need one brush for one color, a separate brush for your second color, and then a Switzerland brush, neutral, that's just to blend those two. I didn't know that then, and when I was watching it, I was cringing, going, get a third brush. So, and then I do a lot of this and a lot of that with the color blend, and that really helps. North, south, west, and east, okay? Different people have different techniques. You will develop your technique. Some people do a swirl technique. I got this piece 20 years ago for $65 and a haircut, because it was a haircutting client and she was selling it, and I loved it. It was already painted a latex green. It had the original beautiful, gorgeous, like teardrop earring handles. And so this was already painted. I have never painted anything in my life other than walls. Okay, look what I did. I think I painted it cream and left it that way for a while. And then I changed and put some black over it. And look at this. It cracks me up. So this is one of my first projects. I have had it stored in a non-climate controlled barn for, oh my goodness, 7 years, which is terrible on furniture, but so far so good. And I just wanted to show you how DIY, so of course this is chipped. DIY paint will go over latex paint. Now, if it's already chipping up, you would want to sand that a little bit, not all the way down to the bare bones. Now, this piece would be worthy of sanding to the bare bones and refinishing, but those type of people probably aren't on this page. You will be hated for painting pieces like this. I mean, people get violent. I'm like, I'm not violent that you didn't paint it. Please back off. So it's already painted. Okay. This is going to be crazy. Painted my store colors, Firestarter, Kissing Booth. That's how it's starting. So what I've done here is I've done 2 quick coats because I didn't get it done soon enough, because you need to blend the Firestarter and the Kissing Booth. You need it to be completely dry. And guess what? I just did this less than an hour ago. So sometimes you pull your paint back off if you don't dry it good enough. And then right here, I just had to do a quick third coat going against the grain. See how that is? So I just wanted to show you. This is one of my favorite items. It's squishy. You can get them at Walmart is where I got this. You could probably get them on Amazon for less than $6. This goes on my electric mouse sander that I got at Walmart. And this is a really fine. Now remember, you don't want to transfer colors, so you want to change, you know, sanding blocks every time. But I don't care. This is my piece. I don't care if it has a tinge of other color, but that's something to think about. So you can do this with a, you don't even have to do this, but I didn't really want it just to be blotchy. So if you want to get a smoother finish that's not textured, in between coats, just, I mean, basically that's, I mean, DIY paint is so easy to sand. That's basically, you could just do it with a paper bag. So it's kind of bringing the brush strokes back out. So you can do this, but you don't have to. That's just to get a smoother texture. Now I like texture because then if you do colored waxes, it'll catch in those grooves and give even more dimension. So that's just something to, since I had to do a third coat on that because I didn't let it dry in between. Another thing I could have done was done white Salvation solution, and then I would have probably been able to get away with 1 coat of Firestarter. So that's something to think about, how this covers, okay? Now, because this is a tabletop, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to just scratch it up a little bit. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried if I have specks of the base color coming through. But if you don't ever want this to show through, maybe use the Salvation solution, or maybe give it a little sand, but I'm not worried about that. So I'm not. It totally goes over latex as long as it's not peeling. So, but if you're questioning or really pristine about your coats and your layers, give it just a little scuff. Here is Firestarter. This is the most economical size. It's a, what is it? It's our biggest size. Of course it's covered up, 32 ounces. There's the 8 ounce, 16 ounce, and 32 ounces. You'll save money if you get these, but not everybody keeps these in stock. But I'm using my Paint Pixie Big Dusty, but I also like this for around these legs and in grooves. This is the biggest one of Paint Pixie, so let's just get going here. So, like I said, could have done a coat of white Salvation solution and get a better coverage, but I don't know, I don't mind doing this, but look how good it's covering with one. And if I would have let it dry for at least an hour and then went back and put my second coat on, it wouldn't have pulled my paint back up. So I just didn't do it in time. If you get globs of paint in your finish, I mean, I kind of just take my fingers and get them off, but what I found to be the fastest is just to let it go and then take a paper bag after it's dry, and literally all you have to do like that and it'll get it off. Or that little sanding block that I showed you. Use a micro fiber cloth and just kind of get that dust off. Staging wall, and I've already seen I changed my studio around, so now everything's crazy. I haven't tried it over here yet. And I just flicked orange on my white staging wall, but DIY paint, I could just get a Lysol wipe and get it off. Okay, so look at that. Orange, oh my word. Who is brave and can do orange? Basic, not doing anything foo-foo here yet, but I do want you to stick around, and as soon as I get a little bit on here to show you, then I'm gonna do my side with some Kissing Booth blending it. But look how fast this goes. This just goes so fast. Just kind of working in those grooves a little bit. Ounce will cover this buffet. So if you're kind of wondering about sizes, I do mail out. It's not boring to me because I love to paint. I've been gone all week out of state, so I haven't been able to do anything, and I was so excited. I come in here to just turn off my lights in the barn, and I ended up staying probably an hour because I found something to do. I was just like so happy when I'm painting or doing the craft. Okay, so there we go with the top coat on that. See how fast that is? And you can see the black is showing through. And so that's okay, because you just want, think of it as your scratch coat. Don't try to do full coverage on your first coat. Just get a scratch coat on there. It builds a base, and then let it dry at least an hour, or depending on how big your piece is, by the time you get it all covered once, it's time you can go back. But DIY paint is activated by water, so you know, if you don't let your base coat dry and then you go back to do your blending, which we're fixing to start on over here, it'll pull the paint back off. So you want it good and dry, and you don't want to overwork it. So if you see it's pulling up, let it dry better. And if you want a base coat to not blend, then if I wanted this pure orange and then distress the Kissing Booth back, I would want to put clear Big Top on it, or and then let it dry and then put your, and then that way it won't blend. So that's a tip you need to do if you don't want any blending. All right, so let's get to the side. I'm a new blender, under 5 times. I want to say I've done 4 projects, but really it may be less than that. So we'll see how this goes. I love orange and pink together, but I'm crazy. So I don't know, not everybody would like this. Frightened by what I'm doing. All right, got my Paint Pixie water bottle. That's a mister bottle, so it doesn't dump the water. It's just a fine mist. But if you're just getting started and don't have that, you can use any water bottle. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use my little D, and this is the big D. These are great for blending. You can also blend with the round like this, but you just kind of got to get in there and go. I really don't know how this is going to turn out because this isn't dried as long as it needed to. But I'm just going to give you, we're just going to go. Okay, we're going to learn together here. Okay, I'm going to work out of my lid right now. Okay. So, I should have wet my brush down a little bit. DIY retailer for a year now, and I've been painting for maybe 4 years, and I just did one color, and then I would distress it back and let a color show through. I didn't do any artsy until this DIY, until I started watching all these lives, and DIY paint you can blend. A lot of paints you can't, so that's how long. Okay, somebody asked that. Let's go. I really don't have a full vision of this. We're just gonna do it. Okay, oh, wow, okay. The thing is, I can just undo this, right? So I've seen a lot of people do this blending technique different. Some like blend left and right until it blends, and some only go up and down. You kind of, well, you just got to get in there and do it and figure out your technique. You just don't want to I wouldn't want to spray this whole thing because that'll reactivate and pull everything up. You kind of want to just spray where you're working. Oh, I'm going to do some gold leaf on this too, on the legs and stuff. I've never done that, okay? So you're just going to have to follow me on my page to see the updates on this. And since it's mine and I'm keeping it, it may be 6 months before it's done. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. All right. So far, we're not getting blending, but I'm going to keep going here. The last piece I did, which I'm going to have it out on the DIY A Go-Go YouTube, I do one for them once a month, is I blended it horizontal blend, and that may turn into this. Salty Kiss is my other stored color. All these 3 colors. I love that kind of like feathery look. I like that, but okay, let's just try to do it like this. Instead of the feathery. And you really don't know until it's dry if you need to go back and work on it, you know, like if it didn't blend good enough. This is wild. This may almost be too wild for me even, but let's just keep going here. And if you do, the best way to start practicing blending is doing with neutral colors. A brown, a cream, a white, you know. It's just to be safe and just get a little feel for it, just do some more neutral colors. And maybe do it on a board or something that's going to be a sign. I mean, this is pretty out there to do this on my buffet. But it can be changed. And probably what I'll do, and I'll do it right now, just take your other brush that already has some orange if you need to kind of help. Oh, there we go. It's doing it now. So work with your 2 colors. I'm learning as I go, you know. I'm fresh on this blending thing, I'm telling you. Oh, look, that's working. It's just melting into each other. So just, you gotta kind of stand back sometimes and look at it, or just keep going, or walk away for a day and then come back. But don't give up. I usually won't redo things. Like I don't ever do something and then go repaint it another color. I just can't hardly stand to do that. I'll add to it and just keep working with it. And I'll spend more time doing that than just starting over sometimes. But mentally, I just can't bear to. And see how that looks drippy? You could do the, you can mix a little bit, and I may do this on my YouTube that's coming out on the 2nd. It's a beautiful piece. And it was a totally neutral blend. And then I took mermaid tail, about 1 part mermaid tail to 9 parts water in a spray bottle, not your Mr. bottle. That'll ruin your Mr. bottles. Just get a cheap spray bottle, shake it up really good. And I did this all over it, and it changed the entire look. So just get in there and mess around. Look, it's blending. Whew, I was sweating because I was like, this isn't working. This isn't working. So work with your 2 different brushes with the 2 different colors, and you can keep spraying the water, and that helps it too. I'm not huge into the drippy look. I'm warming up to it. Okay, now I don't like, I lost my blend, so I'm just gonna take my other brush. So the middle section with these 2 colors blending will be like a 3rd color. This is gonna be good. I'm feeling better about this. But I'm telling you, it's gonna be a whole different ball game when it's dry and when it's waxed. Okay, I'm liking it. It was kind of scary. I think I'm gonna leave this, I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. I'm just gonna go with it. This is probably gonna be my most out there piece I've ever done, because like somebody asked how long you've been painting. Well, I've only been artistically painting, doing stuff like this for probably less than a year. I love it. Let me see if I can get you in a little bit closer. I think I'm going to like just do a little bit of a, I don't know. Oh, can you see that? This is looking cool. Like just a fade of a trim. I'm just trimming it out here. I just really like that feathery, streaky look there. I think that looks really cool. But if you don't like that look, just do it more like this. Which I think I will, just because I'm trying to kind of make it make sense with that. You know what? I'm just going for it. I like it. I like those streaky feathers. Okay. A little bit more paint. So notice I am just spraying where I'm working, because you do not want to totally reactivate your paint with the water. So now I'm taking my fire starter and just kind of, I got a little high, so I'm kind of okay, this is gonna, okay guys, now this only looks like a 3rd, that'll look more like what it is when it's waxed. That's just dry and that's just fresh. That's the same color, but that's what DIY paint does. Okay, it's almost making a fuchsia purple. It's almost looking like cherry picked there. I don't know if my black base is coming through or what, but, and this is what it looks like, 1 coat. It's gonna be crazy. This would be a great checkout counter or something in my display in my store. If I was gonna put it in my house, I'd probably eventually someday make this a sink. This drawer would be fake, but this drawer would still work, I think. You can shorten the drawers, and actually you can make them both work. So I don't know that I would ever put this in my house. My house is pretty boring, you'd be surprised, but my store is where I go crazy. So you can see the B-roll at the front was some of them that I had gotten a little better at it, but still not great. I would encourage you, just start and keep going, keep trying, keep getting in there, and you will get better. You will not be good at this the first try, and you need to work on it. It didn't say it in the video, but multiple days. The more you work on it, walk away for 24 hours and come back and add and layer and do, the better it gets. You cannot get one of those layered, artistic, fun finishes in one day or one setting. It won't be good. So just keep going, and I release a video every week, and I will put some links in the description box for you to look at some other videos and like and subscribe, and I mail out any of the products you've seen I will have in the description box. So